My name is Sergeant Eddie Wilson. I am the supervisor of the DART team.
I'm Detective Chris Dustra of the Sparks Police Department. I'm currently assigned to the General Assignment Child Crimes Division for detectives.
So what is DART and why is it important to me and the Sparks Police Department? DART stands for Domestic Abuse Response Team. It's important because there are so many victims in our area and victims of abuse, not only physically but emotionally, and we want to be able to follow up with those victims and just let them know the Sparks Police Department is here for them and that we care about them.
DART has been a passion of mine ever since I started here 15 years ago. I've been on DART. When I was on patrol, I was on DART that entire time. I had a mentor when I first started working here. He initiated some subject that spurred my interest. Coupled with the passion that the department has for our victims, it was a perfect mix for me. I matched up and I began and I stayed in that unit for 15 years until I was promoted to detectives.
So I manage a team of several DART officers, and their roles and responsibilities are following up with domestic abuse cases that come through at the patrol level and might need further investigation in order to help those victims along.
Domestic abuse is prevalent in our community. We only get about 40% of the victims come forward. That number has been growing in the state of Nevada, and it's getting better. We're able to communicate with our victims a little better. So it's the team is successful in regards to the percentages are up each year.
We have to know what's going on in order to help you. Realize that police officers not only are there to enforce the law, but we can also offer many resources in order to help victims, which is ultimately our goal. So some of these red flags that I mentioned can be simple things such as power control, withholding of goods, withholding of money, the small things that you may not realize will lead down a path of domestic abuse.
The biggest thing that comes to me, we talked about this before, the power control is huge, but one of the things is isolation. A suspect will isolate the victim from her family, her friends, so that she can't talk to people and explain how she's feeling. And the emotional abuse will always come first. That will come as a grooming technique, and then things will escalate, and it is evident that in all cases, it'll go from verbal to physical in a matter of time.
Typically we're called by a witness, the offender, and or the victim. The process is very detailed. We're going to go through and get the side of the story of what happened, and we're also going to be able to make sure that we can follow up with any services necessary, including victims' rights, victims' advocates, any temporary protection orders through the court, and other resources that we may be able to offer victims who find themselves in these situations. Some of our victims require other resources, victims of domestic abuse that is. We have a great panel of victims advocates here at the Sparks Police Department. They can actually follow along with the case. They can be side by side with the victim. They can go to court with the victim. We partner with the community in a gift card program, whereas if we can articulate that this person who's a victim of abuse is down and out, we can provide them with gift cards for food and or clothing or baby necessities, anything like that that we might be able to offer them and help them out.
So here just at our department, Sparks Police, we have two victim advocates that do a wonderful job. I can't tell you enough how much we appreciate what they do. They establish a rapport with the victim. They're able to establish living situations, financial situations, employment situations to help the victim get out of a certain situation. Also, too, we were at the Sparks Police Department. We were the department who initiated the DART team, and so we wanted to be at the front line of that, and to let our folks know in our community that we are victim oriented and that they do come first. I think the best thing you could do is tell someone, and it doesn't matter who it is. It could be a friend, it could be a stranger. A lot of times people don't understand that even telling like a stranger it's easier to talk to a stranger than it is like a family member or a friend, because people feel that they're looked down upon when they're in a domestic situation, when in fact when you speak up it's the real triumph in the situation.